friends, welcome to another episode of How Does Your Garden Grow? Today I want to show you some of the things that have been growing that we planted just, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. In front of me right here we have greens, mostly mustard greens, and I'm really excited about them because they took a long time to come out of the ground. Sometimes gardening takes a lot of patience, so you have to wait. And I've been waiting, and finally they've come up and they're just kind of taking off. So also the cucumbers are taking off. And today is October the 5th, and we planted them in the middle of August. So about a month and a half of growth, maybe 7, almost 8 weeks, but not quite. So the cucumbers are really doing well, and I'm excited because I know they're coming. The actual cucumbers are coming because of the flowers. So you may recall, if you saw an earlier video, that I said first the flower, then the fruit. So when you have the flowers, you know that the next thing that's going to come is the fruit or the food. So here we have the little yellow flowers, classic cucumber flowers. So yeah, and next there'll be a little cucumber on the end. So maybe even next week you can tell. And over here, something that's really exciting is another thing that I talked about in an earlier video is what I like to call flying saucer squash. It really is patty pan squash. This one is huge, and I'm going to harvest it today. And there's some little ones as well. There's some over here. And I just think they look like flying saucers. One time, I actually cooked them by, here, I'm gonna take this one out. I actually stuffed the squash with rice and other things, and it was quite delicious. Oh, look at that. It's kind of weird, but that's okay. It kind of looks like a flower, doesn't it? And there's some other things that are doing really well. The radishes are growing like crazy. I have a few scallions from early this summer, and the holy basil is beautiful, and I'm gonna harvest more of that. The holy basil, you can make tea with it. You can put it in water and just drink the water with ice, and it's delicious. And I discovered that you can even put it in a spray bottle to put fragrance in your house. It's really, really nice. So I have some holy basil, and here are the scallions. I'm going to go ahead and pull those out. There we go. And there's one large radish that I want to get in here. Oh, here it is. Look at that. Here we go. A little red. It's really not so large, right? Sometimes it takes a lot for a plant to produce food, and you think you've got something and it turns out to be pretty small, but that's okay because radishes are best when they're small. So we have radishes, onions, and holy basil, and now I'm going to plant some beets because my carrots they're not coming up. I don't know why. So I'm just gonna plant beets where I put the carrots. So here are the beets, and I actually used the egg tray to plant the seeds and let them get started. I've had them outside for several nights, and they seem to be doing okay, so I think I can put them in the ground. Now, the nice thing about an egg tray is that you can tear off each little cell. And I'm going to take away the bottom tray, which was the cover, set it down, and I'm going to tear off these little cells like this where the eggs were. So here we go. And now they say you can just put the whole thing in the ground, but I really don't want anything to interfere with the roots. So you can also just pop it out, turn it upside down like so. Oh, there's a little root hanging on, and put it in. Now when you put them in and they're this tiny, you must watch them and take care of them. because they'll dry out really fast, and you don't want that to happen. Because once they dry out, you're not going to be able to bring them back to life. So here's another one. I'm just going to take it right on out. Put it right there. Oops, 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 where'd you go? Like that. And I'll just keep doing that until they're all in the ground. Okay. And the last thing I want to show you is this bed over here. So this bed had string beans in it this summer, and now it has 3 different foods in it. It has, on the outer rim, it has broccoli. On the next layer, a circle, it has arugula, which is a kind of a spicy lettuce. And in the middle, it has Brussels sprouts. So I think the broccoli is coming up now. It's taking it a while, but all of this is arugula, and I actually could pick it and eat it right now. And this is the Brussels sprouts, and I actually believe I planted some onions to go around here as well. So we'll see how they come up. All right, that's it for now. Next, I'm going to show you my sifter. I actually made a compost sifter. Okay, we're going to close out today with my brand new sifter that my son helped me build last weekend. So this is a sifter, and it's for sifting the compost. Because the compost, sometimes when it's ready, it still has chunks in it. And when you sift it, you get something fine like this. Not a lot of big pieces in it. Oh, do you see the little worm? And it's ready for the garden. Now, just want to show you that it actually started like this. Okay, you can see all the big chunks in it. So what you do is you sift them out. And I'm very careful because I don't want to kill the worms when I'm rubbing. But before I show you how to sift, I just want you to see what a kitchen sifter looks like, because people don't use them quite as much as they used to. In the old days, I guess the flour was a little more grainy, and you had to sift the flour when you were making cakes and pies and things like that. And so this is a sifter. And in the inside, when you squeeze the handle, there's a kind of wheel that goes back and forth. And I'm going to show you how that works real quick. So you put the flour in, like so. Woohoo! It's snowing. And you just squeeze. And you get a much finer flour for things that need to be fluffy and light. Wow, that's really fine. So that's your kitchen sifter. And this is our compost sifter, heavy duty. So, I think I should get some gloves. One of the things when you're working with compost, especially if you've collected leaves from the neighborhood, a lot of times in those bags, you find things that don't belong in the compost, like glass or metal. And so when I'm sifting, I always wear gloves. So let me just grab them. Okay. So it's a very simple process. You just start rubbing the soil. Like this. And you just keep doing it until all you have left is big chunks. So it takes maybe 3 minutes to get all of this in. But that is how you do it. And oh my goodness, I see a lot of worms. I see more worms today than I did yesterday. And of course, when I look for them, oh, here's one. Worms are good for the soil, they make the soil nice and rich. They eat and poop and eat and poop, and that's a good thing. So what I do sometimes is I actually pick them out and I put them underneath because I don't want to squish them when I'm sifting. So that's what happens. I'm going to show you the bottom one more time so you can see the soil. Sometimes the soil, well, the compost gets caught in the wire, and I just tap on it. It's actually another method of getting it in without hurting the worms. See, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Big seeds, rocks. So they go over there. All right, so let's just take a quick look at what's underneath. More soil, look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? Wow. I can't wait to put that on the beds. All right, maybe you can start a compost pile. Well, winter's not the best time, but I do it all winter. You can do it in your kitchen when it's really warm and you don't want to attract bugs. You can put it in a little container that goes in the fridge because it's just banana peels and apple core and things like that. So you can start your own little compost pile. Thanks for joining us. See you next episode.